Hello, class. For this activity, the Microsoft Activity 5, you guys are going to learn how to insert new pages, how to insert page numbers, how to use your footer, and how to format your text boxes that you would have inserted. So, looking at this activity, and this is going to be very similar to the test that you're going to have. You have to make sure you read the directions. So complete the following directions below. Make sure you read all directions carefully and do them in order. Before you start, change the line spacing to single and the before and after should be set to 0. So looking at this, you will notice that you're going to have 2 pages. On page 1, you have to insert word art and title it Favorite Foods. So I'm going to open a new document. Then I'm going to make sure I go to my paragraph options by clicking on this button right here. Make sure my line spacing is 0, my before and after is 0. I'm sorry, and make sure my line spacing is single, and it is. So then I'll press OK. Next, what you also want to make sure you do is that you change the font, the font style to Times New Roman and size 12. Okay, so go back to our activity. It says to insert word art and title it Favorite Foods. Okay, so I'll go here. Remember to insert. Notice the words that I'm using and that are on the paper. Insert word art. And I'm going to title it Favorite Foods. Now, word art is very similar to a text box, meaning that when I want to move it, I simply click on the line itself. Okay, if I want to resize it, I can. I can resize the box. I can make my shapes, my size bigger. All right, to where it'll fit all of that. So now, and I can also go back to my format, my drawing tools for my word art, and I could change the word art style. So I'm going to transform it to a little wavy line. All right. Now, let's go back to the directions. Insert 3 pictures of your favorite places to eat. Okay, so I have one picture already ready. I'm going to right click and paste it because I got it from the internet. Now remember, if I want to be able to move my picture anywhere, I have to wrap text it. So I'll click on format, click on wrap text, and put it in front of text. Now I can move my picture anywhere, and I'm going to resize it. Next, I'm going to insert another picture of some sweet potatoes, and I want to be able to move it anywhere. Or a sweet potato pie, but I love sweet potatoes. And I could now shrink that down, and let me find one more picture. And lastly, I have my last picture, French fries. Doesn't really matter if it's McDonald's or not, but I do like French fries. So those are my 3 picks. Now, next on the directions, it says under each picture, insert a text box with a brief description of the item. All right, so I have to insert a text box. So again, insert and text box. And I want you guys to get in the habit of drawing your own text boxes. So we're going to choose draw text box. And now if you notice, our our mouse has now changed into a little cross, which means that I am ready to draw. So I'm going to draw a text box here. I'm going to go back, insert another text box. I'm going to draw one here. And then I'm going to insert one more text box. Insert text box, draw text box. So I have to write a brief description of each. Okay, now if you notice, I have all 3 of my text boxes with short descriptions of each picture. So I want to click on the picture. Let's go back to our format menu so we can change the background of our text box. So I'm going to choose this green color, and you have to make sure that with text boxes, or any sort of background that you have contrasting colors, meaning that if you have a light background, then you should have dark text. If you have a dark background, then you should have a light color text. So I think the black should be okay here, but let's change it. I want to make it bold so it's a little darker. And also I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to center it. All right, now if you notice, I have more writing at the bottom because it said I love BD's Mongolian Grill. So I need to resize the text box so you can see everything. Okay, so let's do the same thing to this text box over here. And again, since we're home, we need to go back to format so we can change the fill. And I'm going to go back and change the size of it. And I want to make it a little thicker, and I want to center this one too. Now I have to resize my text box. All right, so let's move that picture down some. And then we're going to change actually, let me go and change the color first. Shape fill. I'll do a light, a dark color. This purple. So now go back home, change my color. I'm going to make that white, bold it, make it a size 16, and center it. So now let me shrink down so you guys can see. I have, oops, I want to move that. Okay, next we need to learn how to insert um, a new page. So of course, I will click on insert, but before I click on insert, let me click on the white space of the page and make sure you hold down the control key and press the word end, E-N-D, not type the letters, but press the word. And so that it means that I'm going to go to the end of my document. So now when I insert a blank page, it should go after the first page. Now, if you guys notice down here above the start menu, you see page 2 of 2, the meaning that we're on page 2 because that's where my insertion point is, and we have 2 pages total. Now, if I were to click on page 1, you'll see that it says I'm on page 1 and I have 2 pages total. So on page 2, let's see what it says we have to do. We have to insert word art and title it favorite people, 3 pictures of your favorite persons, a brief description in the text box of each and why you like them. And then you're going to change the text box background and font colors and make sure you use contrasting colors. So let me do that. Okay, so I have both of my pages. Now, the next thing that it says that we want to do is to insert a footer at the bottom right hand corner with your name, date, and hour. To do that, we are going to make sure we click off of the text boxes, click on the white space of the page, go to insert, then we're going to go to footer, and then we're just going to click the first one, the blank footer. Now, what it is that I need to make sure that my text is on the right side of the page. So I'm going to go home and click on the align right button. Now I'm going to type my name, date, and hour. So now you see that I've typed my name, date, and hour. But now say if you accidentally had it on the left, all you would simply do is highlight it and move it to the right using your alignment feature, your right align button. Next, we're going to learn how to insert our page numbers. Now remember, I'm in the design because you see I'm in the footer of our document. So I need to make sure I click on design, header and footer tool so that we can change our menu. And if you see it says go to header. So I can just click that. or I can click on insert page number, and we want it in the top right hand corner because that's what our document says. I believe insert a page number in the top right hand corner of the page. So again, we will click on page number, because or we could just click on insert and go to page number and click on top of page, and we want it in the right corner, so you'll see plain number 3, the numbers on the right, and we'll click on plain number 3. So now if you notice, our header has a page number 1, and then our second page has a page number 2. Now, to get out of our header and footer, we have to make sure we're on the design menu and press close header footer. Now we have a few more things to do. We have to make sure we rotate at least one picture and add borders to each picture. So I believe I already have rotated some pictures that you noticed, but we need to make sure we add borders. So we'll click on each picture, format, and we'll add borders. And another thing with our text boxes, we can format those and change the outline of our borders. We can make the um the border thicker like that. So let's change our picture borders, and I believe you know how to do that by now. And let's change our format, our borders for that. Not the field, but the outline. And we can change the weight of that. So that is how you can do that. The last thing that we should have done, or that we could do for extra credit, is to insert a picture in the left corner of our document. And I needed to move this because it was blocking, it was covering my footer. So I need to go back to insert, and I'll go to footer. I just want to edit the footer. And now I want to insert a picture of, I'll go to clip art and look for a smiley face soon as it comes up. And I'll just insert this little world right there. Where did it go? Am I missing it? Or actually, I'll just copy it. And now I'm going to paste it. And there it is. Let me go to format, wrap it, and put it in front of text. I want to shrink it down, and I'm going to place it in the corner of my footer. And that is how you do it. We'll close our header and footer, and now we have a document with everything that we need.